Hi guys, and welcome to a new episode of Greg LeMond Fans Television, the 6th already in the season and the 1st of this year. First of all, I want to wish you all the best during this crisis, which keeps all of us inside. But it's the perfect moment to talk about Greg LeMond for a while. Now let's start and see if there's some news. So in normal times I start the show with the latest news, but since everybody is in a lockdown, there's nothing much to say. All I can say is that Greg and Cathy LeMond are in a good health and that the bike production, well, it's waiting for the corona crisis to be over. They made some progress, but it's going a little bit slower than expected. For the rest, well, you know, every year we go to Châtel, for the second year now, to do the ride in the Alps, but it seems like this event is also going to be cancelled. It's not sure yet, but I think the Tour de France will be cancelled as well, and if that's the case, well, the ride in Châtel definitely won't be happening this year, but okay, let's see, let's wait, and if it's not this year, then it's the next year. Okay, our first video is about 30 years ago. Last time we saw Greg winning the World Championships in Chambéry, and he signed this major contract with Z. And today we're going to take a look at the first 4 months of the new season in 1990. Here's a new episode of 30 years ago. It's 1990 and Greg LeMond had a busy winter. As the first American cyclist ever, he became Sportsman of the Year in Sports Illustrated. But the prize is high as a world champion and Tour de France winner. Greg is asked for commercials like Taco Bell, but also for a lot of cycling brands. In between all these extra sporting obligations, he's doing tests in a wind tunnel on his Le Mans painted Bottecchia that he used last year in Paris to win the Tour de France. Back in France, he joins his teammates as a presentation of his new team, Z Vêtements. His first race of the season starts in the Ruta del Sol in Spain. With a lack of training, Greg is really out of shape. He's not able to keep up with the peloton and abandons in the 4th stage. Hoping to be better in the Mediterranean Tour in France, he actually begins the week losing almost 20 minutes on a 72nd place. Back in Spain, things get worse in the Vuelta Valenciana. After 4 stages, LeMond doesn't feel well and abandons again. After a short intermezzo in Holland, where he finished 33rd in the Grand Prix Wheeler Revue, he starts without any ambition in Paris-Nice. A 16th place in the prologue looks promising, but the hardest part of the race is in a few days. The Z team gets a 3rd place in the team time trial, and Greg even attacks in one of the following stages. But during the last 3 stages, he loses more than half an hour in total and is not starting in the afternoon time trial to the Col d'Èze. 6 days later, LeMond abandons in Milan-San Remo and heads to the Critérium International in France. But he even doesn't finish his first stage and isn't feeling very well. Back in Belgium, he tries his luck in the 3 days of the Pana, but abandons again in stage 2. After medical tests, LeMond returns to the US to recover from a virus that will keep him off his bike for a while. What a coincidence! A virus. By the way, welcome in my man cave, my office. This is the place where I work most of the time for Greg LeMond Fans. And we're in the middle of some jerseys on the wall, and that's what we are going to do today. We're going to talk about jerseys. Sometimes we get questions from people asking, what about this jersey? Is this real? Is this not real? What are the special things to take care about on a jersey? And today we're going to talk about the ADR jersey that was used in 1989. Well, there were 3 types of jerseys in 1989, and the first one that was used was this one. This is the W Cup Coffee sponsor. This was used during the Spring Classics of 1989. And well, there's some special things to look at if you want to buy this jersey someday, because there's a lot of replicas on the market, people selling them, making copies, but there's a few things that are very important before you buy these. Okay, first of all, in the color, I'm gonna go a little bit closer, there has to be the label of Santini, right? Just make sure this is a Santini jersey. Okay, still everybody can make copies of this label, but it's a Santini jersey. Also here you can see the nice zipper, which is made by Santini, also important. And on the sides of the jersey, here, where you see the sponsor ADR Bottecchia, you also need to have the sponsor Santini printed on the side. It's nowhere on the chest. All you have on the chest is course, you have Mavic, you have ADR, you have Bottecchia and the W Cup jersey. On the sleeves you have IOC, I don't know what it is, but it's a sponsor, and Bottecchia. Those are the main points of interest when buying this jersey. Okay, so this is the first one in the Spring Classics of 1989. Another one which was used and which is pretty rare to find, because this one I was lucky enough to buy it from a guy who lived near Greg. So this is one of Greg's when he was riding. Is a Santini version of ADR, this one. This jersey was used in the Italian races, for sure, the Giro d'Italia. And well, if you're lucky you find it on eBay, but I don't think, I never found it on eBay or any other site. But well, if there's written Santini in the front, then you're sure you have something special. Again, the Santini label in the inside, the zipper of Santini, and on the sides you also have the Santini print on the jersey. This is a special one and pretty nice. And then last but not least, the most known jersey is the one used in the Tour de France with Agrigel as a sponsor. This one is the one you find most on eBay and other sites, but this one is also the one which has the most copies. So again, a few points of attention. First, again the label, SMS Santini in the color. You have the zipper from Santini. On the sides, again here the label of Santini, the logo of Santini, but on the front, on the chest, and this is where most of the differences are shown, we see Mavic, of course, like the other one. We see the sponsor of Course Light, which is important. I've seen jerseys containing no sponsor of Course Light. Leave them. And this one is the one which is in most of the cases missing on the other jerseys. This one contains the SMS Santini logo. It's really important if you control if this logo is on the jersey. I'm going to show you a copy because this is a good one. This is a copy of the same jersey and you can see the differences immediately. I mean, in the color there's a blank label. The zipper is just white. There's nothing left on it. On the sides there is no Santini at all. On the chest, same thing. You have the Course Light logo, you have the Mavic logo, but there's no Santini label here. So this one, it's nice to go out and take a ride, but if you really want a jersey for your collection, then be careful and buy the one with the Santini label. Okay, that's for now for the ADR jerseys. Next time we'll talk about other jerseys as well. Good. Let's take a look at what happened in 1984. 1984, Greg was the world champion and his season wasn't starting too well until there was Liege-Bastogne-Liege. And the next video will show you what happened in Liège-Bastogne-Liege of 1984. It's 1984 and Greg LeMond races as a world champion in the pack. The season wasn't great yet, but with Liege-Bastogne-Liege, LeMond finds a race that should suit him. At 80 kilometers from the finish, a group is separated from the peloton. The group contains most favorites such as Roux, Anderson, Fignon, Miller, Hinault, Criquelion, Kelly, Zoetemelk and world champion LeMond. In times where motorcycles were part of the peloton, there's a few attempts from Vecchia. The group with LeMond is riding very attentive. The race really starts at 40 kilometers from the finish right after the Monteux. No one else than Laurent Fignon attacks in the descent. Phil Anderson tries to close the gap, and after 15 minutes of chasing, he joins the French Renault leader, who receives his instructions from the sporting director Cyril Guimard. But Anderson quickly notices that Fignon doesn't really want to cooperate and urges Le Professeur to ride. In the back, the group with LeMond is only 1 minute behind on the Côte de la Redoute. LeMond is positioned in front to protect the breakaway of his teammate Fignon. On top of the climb, Fignon is dropped from an unleashed Anderson. There are some counterattacks from Criquelion, and Greg is following without any problem. Meanwhile, Fignon rejoins Anderson in the descent, and the gap with the small chasing group is reduced to 30 seconds. In that group, LeMond and Matthieu are in a comfortable position. With only 25 kilometers to the finish, only Criquelion and Kelly are doing the effort, and the gap is reduced to 15 seconds. Anderson continues to do most of the work. In the back, LeMond and Matthieu are getting ready for the final. Nothing happens on the last climb, and the leaders are still 15 seconds ahead. In the streets of Liège, Criquelion brings his chasing group back to the front, and the real final can start. A series of attacks are now following. First Criquelion tries, but he's caught by the group. After that it's Matthieu's turn, but he's also caught. LeMond settles into Sean Kelly's wheel and awaits the sprint. Fignon tries again in the last kilometer, but no one is surprised. The sprint is launched by Sean Kelly with LeMond and Anderson in his wheel, but the Irishman is too strong and beats both Anglo-Saxon riders, almost overtaking the course director's car. LeMond finishes Liège-Bastogne-Liege third and is beaten by Sean Kelly, which will not be the last time. Sean Kelly again. Greg must have had nightmares of Kelly. But you know what? I'm sure Kelly wasn't sleeping good after the Worlds in 1989, that's for sure. Okay, let's have some fun. The next video contains a few hints about an event, a race, a name, whatever. And it's up to you to find the solution. Don't post the answer on the forum because you're gonna spoil it for others. We're gonna show the solution in a few weeks. But if you can't wait to say the answer, then just send us an email to greglemondfans@gmail.com. So here's the first question, and maybe for some of you it's easy, but for others it will be hard to find. So here it is, and good luck with it.
There's Mr. Mandela, Mr. Nelson Mandela, a free man taking his first steps into a new South Africa.
Alright guys, this is the end of the show. I really hope you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Well, I hope in the next episode, which will be around July, this whole crazy thing around Corona is over and we can all get out on our bikes again. But meanwhile, stay inside, stay safe, and see you next time. Ciao!